What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. So I just finished watching episode 19 of season 1 of Dragon Ball. My reaction will be under my YouTube memberships. If you are new here, you do not know what that is, go over there and check that out. It's just a bunch of perks for members only. I've got 2 levels of memberships over there. Level 1 is for $2.99 and you get priority replies from me, special polls and live streams. Level 2 is for $4.99 and you get everything that level 1 has, plus you get all of my reactions to all of the shows I watch, any movies I watch, and all of my uncut Try Not to Laugh. So go over there and check that out. Now, this is an episode that I think I have a feeling this is where everything starts. So they have been trying to train and prepare for this tournament that's coming up. And a couple of you guys told me that you guys couldn't wait to see me react to the tournament. So they're there. So initially they started to train with Master Roshi, and then they ended up training with the turtle shells on their back. Then they had to train with heavier turtle shells on their back. Meanwhile, they're all, trying their best to train and everything. Now, Bulma hasn't spoken to Yamcha in 4 weeks, and she's really upset about that, but she's still hanging around with Oolong and Puar. And she's walking down the street with a bunch of groceries, mad at the world because she hasn't spoken to him. And then she ends up dropping something and she almost gets hit by a truck when this shadow, what looks like a shadow, comes to her rescue. And then it ends up being Yamcha. And she doesn't recognize him at first because his hair is all long. He's got hair on his face. So she's like, you have to make it up to me. You could have been dead in a ditch somewhere. So he's just like, oh, okay. So anyway, so finally, Krillin and Goku proved to Master Roshi that big rock that he thought they couldn't move, they moved it. Both of them did. I actually expected Goku to move it and not Krillin, but they both did. And so apparently, Master Roshi was only telling them that to buy them time, buy himself time, just to kind of stall them or for whatever reason. But they ended up proving it to them. So they're like, all right, well, now he's got to keep his word. So then he tells them that there's nothing else that he can teach them. And they're like, what? So he basically lets them know, like, all the training and all the stuff that I've been having you do, that was your training for this tournament. So after a while, they were eating at one point, and here comes Master Roshi, being the creep that he is. He's under the table while they're all eating, and Krillin and Goku are like literally, like, they keep eating like nonstop. I'm like, how do these little guys have this much of an appetite? So Master Roshi ends up under the table because he dropped a piece of his food, and here he comes being a creeper, and y'all know what he's trying to do. And eventually, because Goku and Krillin keep eating, they ate up all the rice. So Launch came in with a whole basket full and put it on the table. The table broke right on top of Master Roshi, and I'm just like, see that? Now that's what he gets. That's what he gets. So anyway, they're getting ready to head over to this tournament. Now, they're on their way to leave, and finally, they get to take off the heavy turtle shells. And all of a sudden, they realize they feel so light. Master Roshi's like, go ahead and see how high you can jump. They can jump super high. They're super fast now. And they're like, all right, like, we're ready for the tournament now. So they're all packed up. They're getting ready to go. And Launch makes these 2 suits for them. And I'm like, oh, look at them. They're too cute. They got the little top hats on and the little suits. So they go on their way to the tournament. They finally get there, and they see that there's tons of people there, right? And it's so interesting to me because they're on this plane ride. They're on the plane. And Goku doesn't understand what they're on. He's like, it's like a house in the sky. He's like, what do you call this again? And Krillin is just like, a plane. And it's just amazing to me how Goku just does not know, like, all these little things. So then he's looking down and he was like, oh, look at those stars down there. And Master Roshi's like, no, those aren't stars, they're city lights. He was like, oh, they make stars on the ground or something like that. So he's just so in awe of everything. So they finally get to the place of the tournament, and they're getting ready to sign up, and everybody's kind of looking like, he goes to sign them up, and the guy who signs them up, he was like, oh, you want you want to sign up? He's like, no, not me, them. He's like, oh, you want seats? He's like, no, they're signing up for the tournament. And they're like, because everybody around them is so big and huge, and they're just these small little guys wanting to fight in the tournament. So, of course, they're going to be judged because they're small. They don't think that they can make it, but they sign them up anyway. So they run into Yamcha and the crew, and they're like, well, let's hang out before we can't, because after the tournament, we'll be rivals. So they get to finally get to the place where they have to go in on their own. They can't be with Master Roshi. The first tournament, or the first test, is to see who can make it to the actual tournament. So Krillin and Goku are getting ready to do that. So Master Roshi said to them, you guys, I've got something for you guys so you guys can fight in. Now I've seen Goku with this red suit on with the symbol. I don't know what that means, but I've seen it before. And I think, does he not have it when he gets older? I feel like, because I have seen what he looks like when he gets older, and he does have a suit, I think, with that symbol, if I'm not mistaken. Please correct me if I'm wrong. But I'm like, oh, I've seen him in this suit before. Like, I've seen this before. So it's kind of fun to see, like, okay, this is how he got his suit. Master Roshi gave it to him so they could fight in it in the tournament. So they got their suits, they got the outfits for the tournament. So they're getting their rest. So now the next episode, we'll finally see them, in the tournament. We'll see what happens. I can't wait to watch. But yeah, this was a fun watch. So leave your comments down below. Let me know if you enjoyed my review for episode 19, season 1 of Dragon Ball. And let me know what you guys thought of this episode when you guys saw it. And if you haven't done so, subscribe to my channel, hit like, share, and don't forget to hit the notification bell so you guys can get notified whenever I pop up on your feed. I'll see you guys later.